Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Friday. I'm back with another Facebook Live, and hope everyone's had a good week and has been staying active and warm and doing all the great things that we like to see you do to stay healthy and fit and just living a great life. For me, this week's been pretty good. No real hiccups, kind of like a normal week, which is good to have. It's been quite cold here in New Hampshire. I feel like we're in the heart of the winter now, where it's just snowing every few days, and I haven't seen above freezing temperatures in, I don't know, a few weeks now. So, especially today, it's brutally cold outside. It's a lot of wind. So I just got back from my walk and it's quite cold. But yeah, everything's been going good with me, so I hope everything's been going good for you. But one of the things I wanted to talk about that I've been thinking about this week a little bit is um, earning flexibility in our approach to achieving our health and fitness goals. Um, I like to give my clients the most leeway they possibly can have, and still allowing them to achieve their goals. Because the more freedom you have, the more flexibility you have in your approach, generally is going to be the most enjoyable way of getting to your goals. But at times, honestly, what you need to do is just buckle down and sometimes be less flexible and be more rigid. And I feel like you have to earn the ability to be flexible by being consistent for, sometimes quite a long period of time. Whether you're trying to, lose weight by cleaning up your diet, or you're trying to be more consistent about going to the gym, or you're trying to establish a meditation practice to better manage your stress, or you're trying to get better about sleep, or whatever the goal is that you're trying to actually achieve, there has to be a period of time where you're ruthlessly consistent about it. And oftentimes that might mean saying no to things that you would like to do. For example, you might have to say no to eating certain foods or going out to eat, or um, you know, putting yourself in certain situations where you might consume foods that are going to make it easy for you to overeat when you're trying to lose weight. Or if you're exercising, there's going to be, say you're training for an upcoming race, there's going to be times where you're going to have to get up and exercise, even though you don't want to, because you're putting in the work to get to the point where you can run 10K or a marathon or whatever your goal might be. If you want to establish a meditation practice, you're going to need to do it consistently for a long period of time and make it a habit, right? You're trying to make this a habit that you do automatically every single day. And I think that, for me, like, for example, a good example for me personally that I recently gone through is um, last year I had a goal of establishing consistent meditation practice, something I've been working on for a very long time. And I've spoken about this before, but I ended up um, not missing a day of meditation for something, I think it was over 100 days straight. So I meditated 100 days straight, and I made sure I did it every single day. And there were days where I certainly did not want to do it. There were certain days where I had to uh, somehow find some quiet time during my day to go sit and meditate, even though my kids are around screaming. There are certain days that where I probably sat down and meditated and really didn't calm down at all. But I did it. I sat down for 10 minutes, I closed my eyes, and I did it. And I did it for 100 days straight. And after those 100 days, something came up and I ended up missing a day and the streak came to an end. But because I had been so ruthlessly consistent about meditating for over 100 days that I missed a day and it felt weird. And so the next day I wanted to meditate. So now I had this habit developed where if I didn't do this thing, that it felt weird to me. And now I can go, a couple days in a row without doing meditation because whatever, or something, a couple things, my schedule gets screwed up, or I can be on vacation where I'm managing stress in other ways and not meditate for a week at a time and then come back the next week and immediately jump back into the same meditation practice that I had before. And you can take that approach and apply it to anything, whether it's eating. For example, you only eat whole foods for 90 days. And then if you go and have a pizza, right, something that's highly processed, will you feel like garbage afterwards? And then all of a sudden you're back to eating the way you were before because you felt better. And those things only happen if you put in the work, right? You're ruthlessly consistent about doing it for a long period of time. And so that gets ingrained into your habits, the way you feel. You realize that you're more productive, whatever, by doing these things, and then it becomes part of your life, right? You're looking for lifestyle changes. These are changes to your life, and that can be applied to exercise. It can be applied to sleep, etc. So, unfortunately, like I said, that it kind of, when you're in the middle of it, it kind of might feel a little sucky, right? It might not be the most fun thing to do, right? If you're really not feeling like working out and having to go and work out, it cannot be the best thing, feel like the best thing ever, but you're just trying to establish that habit. And sometimes you have to kind of embrace that uncomfortable feeling for a little bit of time in order to get the changes that you want. So yeah, it's great that you've done something for consistently for 10 days, 2 weeks, even 3 weeks. But really what you need to do is do it for months at a time, right? You need to be consistent about it for months at a time. You need to be consistent about your diet for months at a time. You need to be consistent about your sleep for months at a time. You need to be consistent about your meditation practice for months at a time. And once you start building up consistency and in terms of 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, then I have a feeling that you've established and ingrained these changes in your life for a long term, and then you can allow for more flexibility. You can go out for that anniversary dinner and indulge and have that pizza and know that the next day you're gonna be right back to where you were. You're not gonna spend a week, eating pizza and in McDonald's and fast food everywhere, right? You've ingrained the habit of eating healthy, right? Or you can work out for consistently for, I'm not saying you have to work out every day consistently for months at a time, but working out at a reasonable volume for you for months at a time. And then you can go on vacation for a week and not work out and then come back and get back to where you started because that's now what you do, right? You work out at the schedule, right? So if you want to make long-term lasting changes, you really need to put in the work up front. And sometimes it can just mean it can be a little uncomfortable. And unfortunately, there's no way of being around it. Sometimes it might not be the most fun experience. It might not be the thing that you want to do at the moment. But if you're committed to doing that thing and making those changes, then you kind of have to put it in the work. It's just like if someone was training for a marathon or training to achieve some kind of extreme goal, like you're going to have to put in the work for a long period of time in order to get to that goal. And changing your diet, changing your sleep, changing your stress is no different than training for some kind of high level athletic goal. So that's really what I want to talk about today. I know it might not be the most fun message to hear, but it's the truth, and I found it to be the truth, not only for myself but for the clients that I work with too. The ones that make long-term changes, they put in the work for a long period of time to be consistent about what they're trying to change, and then they get to their goal. The ones that put in the work for a couple weeks and then try and introduce some type of flexibility into their lifestyle after a couple weeks, they end up going back to older habits. So, and it's a learning experience. Everyone falls into that trap. So you just need to learn that, well, a couple weeks isn't enough. I need to be more consistent about it for a longer period of time. So there's nothing wrong about that. Just trying to convey the message up front, and set the expectation. So with that said, um, if you want to get all of my content, these videos, blog posts, etc., and more delivered right to your inbox, please go to my webpage and sign up for my newsletter. You can go to rjbhealth.coach, click at the newsletter link at the top, enter your email address, and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get these videos and everything, my blog posts and all that delivered to you in a weekly basis, so you don't need to be on the lookout for them. And if you have any questions or comments about the topic we talked about today, earning your flexibility via consistency, please leave comments below, direct message me, etc. As always, if you're looking for any kind of coaching, feel free to reach out too. So you can direct message me, you can email me. There's a contact form on my website. Again, that's rjbhealth.coach that you can use. There's a form that you can fill out to schedule a discovery call on the homepage too. So lots of ways to get in contact. As always, love to help and talk to everyone and do whatever I can to answer your questions. So with that, I'll sign off, and I hope you guys all have a good week and talk to you next week.